All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 91. What happened in 1991? I don't have time to Google it. This is, of course, our weekly, every Thursday Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything: news, reviews, announcements, trailers, discussions, all the latest things, brand new, awesome, upcoming games, everything PSVR2 related. What is up, guys? My name is AJ. So good to see you again. Last week was a really fun one where we had Brian on, went through the whole sale. So if you got a little bit of money you're looking to spend, get some good deals, make sure you go check out that thing. Spoiler alert, I played Unhidden Cozy Hiding Game, and it was kind of fun, but I still wouldn't recommend it. This is, of course, interactive chat where I like to interact with you guys. Say, what is up to DJ Dirty Yellow Bebito Ramos in the house tonight? What up, my bro? Jay, the foveated rendered game cat. We're going to have a little bit of discussion on that, my friend. Alejembe D2Y Underground Stranger Game Cat. Let's go, baby. Blue Drew, the Underground Game Cat. Yes. Mad _ vegan or Agent 00 vegan. What is up, man? The Con Art is so good to see you guys, man. Welcome. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life. Hello there. Why, hello there. So good to see you guys. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but there has been a boatload of news and releases and announcements and all sorts of stuff this week. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of freaking tired. It's been a really long week. I haven't slept much. Obviously got the Undead Citadel review out last night. Been prepping for the big announcement that I am so excited to talk about today. More on that. And so much going on, but man, things are pretty awesome right now. There's so much shit going on that I'm going to actually have to chop out a lot of stuff that, for reasons, either I don't care about it, or not that I don't care about it, I just don't want to cover it today. It's not news, super big news. But yeah, man, before we get started, I'd like to thank these people that go to Patreon. Well, these people that it should show in just a little bit. These people that I want to thank that go to patreon.com/PSVR Underground. Support me $1 or more a month. Shout out to the newest Patreons, Scalpel Doc. He's a real doctor. Don't mess with him. Also, the Game Cat, Aaron Reich. I said that backwards. I feel like you're going to change your name on YouTube now to that. And then last, but certainly not least, Mr. JP in the house. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining the Underground Army. Appreciate each and every one of you, as well as you just sitting here, chilling, listening. You don't have to, support financially, just hanging out, having fun, talking good old PSVR2 goodness is the name of the game around here. Wow, so many more of you jumping in. So good to see you guys. Awesome, Tatum. I need to feature you next week. Okay, you're going to be my next guest, and we're going to call it Tatum's Corner, and you're going to review in 30 seconds or less American Truck Driver Simulator, because I ain't touching it. Nope. No, sir. I am not touching that game with a 10-foot pole. I am retired from playing those crap games. I only look for the good stuff now. If Scalpel Deck is a woman, then ma'am, welcome. Yeah, then sorry about that. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I mean that's not really it's not easy to tell if you're a man or woman from the name Scalpel Doc. All I know is that they're a doctor. There's a doctor in the house. You guys can also support me by going to vr-rock.com and using the promo code AJPSVR. Get yourself some prescription glasses. I say this every week. I don't care if you use my promo or not. That's just for you guys to get a discount. But get some protective lenses for your headsets. It's like the smartest thing you could do to protect it. But all right, guys. So like I said, today's show, we are going to be mainly focusing, I think, on mostly Undead Citadel and VRacer Hoverbike. But there was, like I said, there was a lot of really unexpected news this week that came out. And I do want to make sure that I do. There's a couple games and announcements that I do want to talk about as well. And I definitely want to. Oh, well, thank you, Nick. But anyways, before Nick ruins the entire show, I do want to talk about a couple announcements. Kicking things off with, actually, I'm going to get rid of Thief here. Kicking things off with a Little Nightmares announcement. Now, here's the catch here. So the studio behind Little Nightmares, which I think is Tarsier Studios, which did, is that the same people? I think it is Tarsier. I really should have done my research, but I've been busy. That did, I think, like Static or something. They do the Little Nightmares, or they did that PS1 game, that was really blurry and was really good. But there was an official announcement along with Little Nightmares 3. Little Nightmares VR is officially coming to VR. But we don't know where. Yeah, this was just a little bit of a teaser. The good news here, no, I'd prefer you not, Nick, but thank you for offering. Oh gosh. Anyways, I'm dying here. I need more sleep. The good news here, guys. So we don't know what platforms this is coming to, but if we would hope that it comes to PSVR2, of course. The good news here is that no matter what, we're safe. We're all good here. We're safe because we also have a little game called Out of Sight VR coming from Flat to VR Studios. And that is very much like a Little Nightmares kind of clone or Little Nightmares inspired game. So, fingers crossed this comes to us just because, it's an official game and anything. But if it doesn't, we got a backup plan. So that's pretty cool, but looking forward to that. The next piece of news that came out that I wanted to run through real quick, was the Invisible Hours has been purchased. The IP has been purchased by Rob Yescombe, the Yes Man. Why is that significant or important? Well, my friends, the way that I could best describe Invisible Hours is an interactive movie where you kind of manipulate time, and it's a murder mystery movie, and it's really, really cool. It's unique, obviously heavily narrative and story driven, really memorable, some pretty cool and memorable characters, their designs, their acting, everything is really, really well done. But it's basically like playing an interactive murder mystery movie, and by manipulating the time, you're not a physical presence in the game. You're kind of just this like being that just can see everything, and you have to use the fast forwarding and rewinding of time to kind of discover secrets, discover who done it, all sorts of different things. And there's little, I think a couple of variables that you can do to change stuff in the game, but this is pretty cool. Rob Yescombe, I've said multiple times, I am a huge fan of his, mainly for writing the story of Farpoint. The Farpoint story was, I thought, so incredible. And the whole way that the story was told in that game was again, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this before, but Farpoint was the moment where I said, VR is the future. Holy crap. The cinematic storytelling, the gameplay, the graphics, everything was just so well done in that game. But this is obviously not Farpoint. However, I would love to see Rob Yescombe buy Farpoint, buy the IP for Farpoint, or Impulse Gear, buy the IP for Farpoint and bring it back, man. That's one of those games we need back. But this would be... So right now, Rob is currently trying to, I think, link up with publishers, look for people that are willing to pick up the game. It'll be interesting to see if maybe somebody like Impact or is interested, or see if there's somebody else. I'm sure he's got a lot of connections as well. But this would be a game that I think would be really cool to come back. It's just such a unique experience. And it's like I said, it's like being inside of a movie, which is really cool, and a really cool story with some nice little twists, and really, really atmospheric and cool. So that was something else that happened this week. There hasn't been like a ton of noise about that yet, obviously, but I think that's just because of all the other stuff going on. There's a lot going on right now. So this is something I definitely want to swing back around on, but this would be so cool if he is able to get a publisher to pick it up and to get a team behind it, maybe like VR Monkey. If you're listening, Rob, these are some suggestions I'm throwing out there to reach out to maybe. But this would be really, really cool to see a return. All right, here. Now that Nick didn't completely ruin the show, Tolerable Aussie, what is up, homie? Says, apologies if this has already been said, but do we have a release date for VRacer? Just this year, but no, we haven't gotten to VRacer just yet. Also, what up, Tolerable Aussie? My man here, everybody, which I'm sure will give him a warm welcome. He does a lot of guides, trophy guides and stuff. So we've been best friends because I don't do that shit anymore. But I respect the sport of trophy hunting and walkthrough making and all that stuff. It's kind of how I made my name around here, Aussie. So much respect. It's good stuff. What is up, Kill Artist, the Dreamweaver, Game Cat, Markio, the legendary Platinum Underground. What is up, homie? Berber Cat. So good to see some new people popping in. JP, I see you, homie. What's up, dude? Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, says, so RE9 releases without VR, but still has time for its coming later. Please, please, please. Yeah, there's definitely still time. I did watch the Capcom thing. That's why the show is a little bit delayed. Because I did just in case. I wasn't expecting anything. Seemed kind of like a boring presentation though. I didn't really see anything, even for like flat screen stuff. I didn't really see anything that was interesting at all, but I was kind of more like listening to it, not watching it. So just keeping an ear out while I was getting the show together. But yeah, man, I think we've had this discussion a little bit about the potential of RE9 and VR. It would be amazing. Obviously it would be an instant, just like, honestly, at this point, I almost want them to make RE9. Okay, I want RE9 and VR really, really, really bad. But if there was a second reason to really want it, is just to give a big middle finger to PC Gamer and IGN and Push Square and all these, grifting YouTubers out there that just want to try to beat PSVR2 down constantly to make a quick buck. All these people are just like destroying the gaming industry and they don't even know it. It's like, you do realize your job is covering the games industry, right? So if you destroy the entire industry, there's nothing left. You're going to go, I don't know, work at McDonald's or something, which there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's, but anyways. Nihilus Ryan, my metal feline friend, with the $5 donation. Thank you so much for getting that tip train going. Speaking of tip train, he says, choo choo, tip train, so many games. It'll be decades before I play them all. Dude, there are so many games right now, indeed. We're going to talk about Undead Citadel a little bit. But, like, there was people that are like, oh, I can't wait to play Undead Citadel. I just got to get through Behemoth and Metro first. And I'm like, all right, guys. All right. We're still stuck on Behemoth and Metro and the other games from the end of last year. Okay. I gave y'all 6 months. It's time to get caught up now. Okay. Time to catch up. This shit moves fast and we got to stay up to date. But yeah, man, thank you so much for getting that tip train started. I appreciate you, homie. Kill Artist, the Dreamweaver, Game Cat. My voice cracked. Says, choo choo, going to pick up Undead Citadel tonight. Hell yeah, man. So good. Obviously did a review earlier. Virtual Strangers in the house. What is up, Wes? So good to see you, my friend. Not going to say any redacted info. Man, Once you go behind the scenes of what these guys have to go through just to make a simple announcement, it's like, damn, like it is certainly a lot of red tape and processes. But I work for a corporation, so I get it. Although you guys aren't a corporation yet. But if all goes well, you will be. Thank you so much, Kill Artist, for keeping that tip train going. Awesome, man. Let's see. What up, Quill? Quill! I was just thinking about Moss the other day. Love it. All right, man. So moving on, we did have the, oh, I know, Wes, I know all about it. Like I said, I work for a very big company and, yeah, but let's not get into that. That's not important. It's not even gaming related. But I've worked for several companies too. And I know as a corporation or as a company, yeah, it's not the same as just like, yeah, it's not like your mom and pop or indie shop where it's just like, yeah, do whatever you want. It's like, no, if you fuck this up, they will sue you. So you have to be careful when dealing with that. That's why Sony's such a pain in the ass to work with sometimes for some people, because they are a giant mega corporation. And Mad_vegan, Mad 00 vegan. Thank you so much for the donation. Says Hellsweeper is a well-deserved the golden buzzer. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, for going through the sale, Hellsweeper was my golden buzzer. I wanted to give it to Ghost Signal for $5, but I do think you should pick up Hellsweeper and Ghost Signal. Two fantastic games. Also throw in Vampire the Masquerade Justice, and now you're broke. No, those games are on deep sale, and those are really, really good games. So if you have to pick up anything from the sale, save your money with Unhidden. Get Hellsweeper, get Ghost Signal, and get Vampire the Masquerade Justice. All awesome games. What up, Silver Nexus? LSB in the house tonight. Salvador, hello. Okay, but earlier this week, as I started to kind of tease the announcement that happened today that was so awesome, can't wait to talk about, there was a spotlight from Sony. Now, here's the thing, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to cover every game from the spotlight. It's only 4 games, but there was 2 that I thought would make for a pretty interesting little discussion here. Some new info that I thought was really, really cool. Nice one, Jay. Hopefully you get some time to play those 2. Good pickups though. Good. The next free chance I get, I'm playing Hellsweeper. That's going to be my go-to. The next time I have a little bit of free time. But the 2 games I wanted to talk about were, so they announced 4. They talked about 4 games total. There was the Meteora cosmic survival game. It's like a racing. That looks cool and all. I'm actually interested in that game, mainly for like the visuals, the cosmic visuals, and that's part of the India Hero project that they do, and they're adding VR to it. That one could be cool, but they didn't really like have a bunch of new footage. They just had some screenshots and like a 7-second clip. And so I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah, that was, that looked pretty cool, but I'm not going to really talk about that one today, because I think I've talked about it before, and yeah, well, I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit closer to that game or after I play it. There was also some, puzzle game, that was, my favorite genre out there, Hotel Infinity, which is like a room scale puzzle game. This one, honestly, I have zero interest in. I didn't like the way it looked. I thought the visuals looked very low poly and uninteresting, uninspired. It looked like job sim graphics from what I just briefly saw it. But I mean, it was a puzzle game, so it's like, yeah, there's really nothing I was really interested in with that. But the other 2, however, I was intrigued by. So we're going to talk about those 2 bad boys. And the first one is Grit and Valor 1949. I think that's what it's. Yes, Grit and Valor 1949 is coming to PS5 with full PlayStation VR2 support. This is from Milky Tea, but it's being published, and they got some help from End Dreams, our good friends over there at End Dreams, with their upcoming game Reach. Reach is looking so good, by the way. But this game definitely caught my interest because I love RTS games. I love strategy games in VR. But I tend to like more like war-based or sci-fi stuff. What they really had me at here was the like that you're commanding mechs and like this futuristic. It's I don't know. It's a World War II based game trying to save Europe, but you're controlling mechs and stuff. So obviously it's like an alternate history kind of revisionist history kind of thing. But alternate dimension. I don't know. It seems pretty cool. The one thing about this game that kind of has me a little bit worried, is going to maybe make or break this game for me, is that they said the words roguelike, and I was like, I don't know how I feel. I'm not a big fan of the roguelike structure when it's kind of like a crutch for not having a lot of content. I'm not saying that's the case here, but that's my concern when they say roguelike. But visually, the art style looks fantastic. I do like playing these games where you're kind of like a commander commanding these different troops. And obviously you can't let the enemies get to you and destroy your command ship or whatever. Otherwise you lose and then you start over. I could see the roguelike elements here working for it or against it here. I don't really know. I typically, like, we had Iron Guard recently. That's closer to what I like, or like Final Assault, or if you want to go to non-VR games back in the day, like I was a big Command and Conquer and StarCraft fan, a big of both of those. I really find these RTS games work surprisingly well, even though they're not like like first person super interacting with anything. It is a lot of like juggling menus and whatnot, but I still have a lot of fun with these. Even from the Dreams game, it was like Space Commander or something. I don't know. I did a stream on it that nobody watched, but a couple people watched. But there was like these little sci-fi strategy games are actually pretty fun. So this is one that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on and seeing. Like I said, I'm a little bit worried of the roguelike. Nick says you like roguelikes just like you like puzzle games, and you know it. I don't have a lot of either of one that I really love, but I don't know. I like if the game's good, I can get into it. I do like a variety of games, which is why I'm able to connect and relate to many of you. Because I got something for everybody that I like that you might like as well. There's something. It may not be Call of the Mountain, or it may not be a puzzle roguelike game. Oh God, that would be a nightmare if somebody made a puzzle roguelike. Please don't ever do that. LSB with the Demio shout. Dude, Demio, another great tabletop adventure thing. I'm super excited for Demio. D&D battle marked, as we've renamed it now because it's a lot easier. Chrome to the Dome Colossus, what's up, man? But yeah, so I really like RTS games, strategy games, so I will definitely be checking this out. But I just hope the roguelike elements are done in a way where, I don't know, they say it's very like pick up and play. You play for a little bit, and then you move on, and then you come back the next day, you pick it up, play a little bit, move on. That's not usually my thing. Usually, like, I like to get sucked into the game and play for like 2-hour sessions at least. And sometimes with these roguelikes, it's like you can beat the game in an hour. So we'll see. But looking forward to hearing more on that. The other really interesting one that we saw here, we got some really nice updates on Dreams of Another. This one also has my attention. It's by Pixel Junk. And we this was announced getting PSVR support from just a little PSVR2 logo from a State of Play. I think 2 State of Plays back, I want to say. The same one that had like Midnight Walk in it and some other stuff. But guys, this game is looking really, really cool. It's an interesting concept. I love how basically it's the, they can say it here. Let me just read the overview here. Dreams of Another is a third-person exploration action game built around the philosophical theme, no creation without destruction. Unlike traditional third-person shooter games where shooting destroys objects, here shooting materializes and creates from an otherwise abstract, fragmented world. It's funny because this game does look kind of dreamsy. Like it looks like it was made in dreams. But yeah, this is just a small little studio making a little indie game. But this is sometimes where the cool, creative, different kind of games come out. But art style wise, like if this is nice and sharp and crisp and clear, it looks really cool. But this is the cool thing is that we saw for the very first time, we actually saw that this isn't going to be just third person VR. They've actually implemented a first person mode where you can actually hold, like there's actually supposed to be a lot of different weapons and to choose from, things from SMGs to bazookas to grenades to all sorts of things. So, and it's all using these guns to restore and create. And it's a pretty interesting, different kind of concept. The art style kind of goes a long way here. But another interesting little new tidbit about this was that if you play it in third person, it actually has eye tracking for the aiming. So if you choose to play, obviously I think they said they recommend playing the first person with sense controllers, but there is an optional third person that you can play and use eye tracking for the aiming. So that was kind of interesting. I like it when devs experiment with the tech a little bit. I mean, it's there, might as well use it, right? Turned out great for games like Res Infinite. Like Res Infinite, even though it's an older game, it feels like a futuristic, like it feels like you're playing something from the future. Like this is a next gen feeling game, just because of the eye tracking or whatever. But yeah, this is another one. Again, both of these games, Grit and Valor and Dreams of Another. Not sure how they're going to turn out, but I'm at least interested in them. They seem kind of cool. So good stuff here. Chrome Colossus says, I do like guns that heal instead of destroying. We need those IRL. Yeah, that's true. When I used to play Resistance, the Resistance franchise with my friends, we play it co-op a lot. I always like playing the healer. The healer class was a lot of fun to play as, so I do like playing as it. They did mention some other info in this game, like there's like a wandering soldier, and then there's the man in pajamas. Those are the two main characters, the wandering soldier and the man in pajamas. Pretty interesting, but yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. If it's sharp and clear, the art style will really work. If it's blurry, then it's not going to work at all. But so we'll just have to wait and see. Charger Mike. Okay, we got the two headlines here. Like I said, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter show, guys. So that I need to recharge my batteries, but we've got the two main topics of the show coming up. But real quick, Charger Mike says, just got my VR Rock lenses with AJ discount. Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And awesome, man. Congrats. Good on you. Like I said, just get some lenses regardless. It's a game changer for the visual quality, but it also, almost more importantly, protects the thing. And for VR Rock, hopefully you got the magnetic ones. The magnetic ones are the ones I recommend. Do not get the non-magnetic ones. They're thin. They slide in there. They're really nice. I like them a lot. I use them every day. And yeah, I love them. I also got a pair of the magnetic ones for my PSVR 1. And if I use the Quest more, I would get one for the Quest as well, because you can use that code on anything there. So that's pretty cool. But awesome, man. Appreciate the trust, and definitely let me know your experience. And if you encounter any issues, also let me know, but you probably won't. Let's see here. Trying to see, before we get into the main topics of the evening, Just want to make sure I go through the comments here because this is interactive chat. At the end of the show, I'll open it up for just some free discussion as well. So, all right. But now it is time to get into the two main topics of the evening. And the first one I want to talk about is Undead Citadel. My goodness, you guys. This game, what a roller coaster ride this has been. What a long wait it has been. But I did publish the review earlier. Seems like, a lot of people, most people checked it out. But just in case you didn't, I liked it. I gave it a kind of a temporary review of 7.8. That probably could go up a little bit, I think, into the 8s. I'd like to play it and get it up to an 8. But the reason it was actually kind of lower was because I had to play through the main game. I played through the majority of the game with the 90 hertz mode. And it, like I said in my review, it really downgraded the visuals. And so luckily, something else I didn't mention in the review that I wanted to, we got to thank Brian here for saving the day for Undead Citadel. Because Brian was the one, to my knowledge at least, told the developers, hey, can you put the reprojection mode back, please? Because both him and I were not impressed with the visuals. Visually, in the main campaign, the Horde mode was actually fine. But the main campaign, the visuals suffered tremendously. I mean, the game is out now. If you go pick it up, which I do recommend doing, it's got a 10% discount price, which is awesome. That is great because I said for the game, the price that I really would have liked to pay is like $25 for it. And right now it's on sale for $26.99. So that's $27 versus $25. Dude, hop on it. Like, it is worth it. Let's support the devs if you can, during a really, really competitive and tough summer. Obviously the player base is a little bit lower during the summer. So we got to show up and support them when we can, when deserving. The thing that I can say about Undead Citadel, not a buggy game. There's no bugs. There's no graphics issues really anymore now that they added that. But I thought the interesting part of the discussion here is 90 native versus 120 reprojected. Now, ideally, we would like every developer to just give us, the option for both, like Arcanage did, but not everybody can be like Arcanage. Here's the thing that happened though. And Brian also kind of clued me into what happened with the graphics here, because everybody wanted 90 native hertz mode. And in most cases, how that ends up working is the developers implement dynamic foveated rendering, AKA eye-tracked rendering. Well, as it turns out, that's not what they did here. And that's why the 90 native hertz mode suffered, was because they just kind of stripped out some of the more graphical, resource intensive graphics settings. And it, like I said, it ended up kind of downgrading the 90 native mode into looking a little bit more like a Quest 3. And again, Quest 3 graphics are not like terrible or anything, but when we have hardware that is capable of much more, it's like, yeah, it's fine for standalone. It's not fine for PS5 or for PC. It's not okay. But essentially that's what happened is, we do know that I thought the game actually did have dynamic foveated rendering. But it turns out it doesn't. And that's why they had to end up basically just downgrading the 90 native mode. So, the good news, like I said, is that last second they went and added the reprojection back, and this took the game from being like really underwhelming visually, the main campaign, to making it actually pretty gorgeous, in my opinion. This game was originally touted as like a very graphically good looking game. So I was like really disappointed playing through the campaign with like, mobile graphics or whatever. But it's an interesting thing, something we need to keep in mind, for future titles. When we ask for dynamic foveated render, or when we ask for 90 native hertz, we need to make it very clear that we don't want the game just downgraded. We want 90 native hertz, but maybe implement eye-tracked foveated rendering so you can keep and retain that detail and just have it a smoother, frame experience and, not have to have that huge graphical loss in quality. So thank the Lord they added that back because really I highly, highly recommend you play this on reprojected mode. If you're super sensitive to it, then, maybe try the 90, but otherwise, yeah, just something to keep in mind in the future. Make sure we don't, if this would have launched with just the 90 mode, guys, this would have been a problem. This could have been really bad. So that, while we applaud the devs and give them kudos for listening to us, we also have to be careful about this a little bit. Yes, it's the devs' job to do the research, but sometimes they are asking, especially now, they're starting to ask the community more. We saw this with Of Lies and Rain. They straight up are asking about dynamic foveated rendering, what's more important, frame rate. I love that these developers are like reaching out and asking their audience because that's not only the smart thing to do, but also in most cases, but also like it's just it builds some goodwill. And I think Undead Citadel has despite the really long wait, again, I said they've been transparent about it, and I think they've built up a lot of goodwill here for me to say, like, yeah, absolutely, thumbs up, go buy it. I recommend it, especially for the discount price. It's a perfect price. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Just make sure we be careful about this moving forward when we ask for 90 native and don't end up with this situation. And luckily they can just make like a toggle and just flip it on, flip it off. But I think ideally 90 native with eye tracking is the way to go, not just 90 native, strip it down. So just something to be on the lookout for in the future. But awesome, man. Again, congrats to the devs for finally bringing it to us. Man, we've been waiting a long time, and yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Go check out my review if you haven't yet. Yeah, we'll see if maybe in the future as well, if they do implement a DFR. But as we've seen, the problem with that is that can take 6 months. And when the game you're releasing comes out in a month, you might obviously might not have time to do that full process and implement that. But 120 hertz reprojection saved the day here, which is really, really nice. Which brings us to our final topic of today. Awesome Tatum says, shout out Dark Curry. Dark Curry. Shout out. Indeed, man, that makes me want Indian food is really good. Actually, I now I want some curry, or it's also just Asian. Before Nick gets on to me about that, it's also just Asian curry or Indian curry is really, really good. And now I want Indian food. But guys, this brings us to our final topic of the evening. This is the main headline, the big kahuna. VRacer Hoverbike, you guys, is coming to PlayStation VR 2 this year. It is awesome. Obviously, this is a huge community effort in making this happen. This is a really big deal. This is us, making our voices heard and really, just supporting PSVR, supporting developers, supporting each other, to the point where we actually change the course of our games library. Virtual Stranger says, we did it. Yes, it's a huge we, because it's a group effort. It's not one person that's just like, doing everything. It takes a lot of things. By the way, guys, the footage I have here is some PC footage that I've captured, and I was using this to just basically capture footage. So the gameplay here is not going to be the greatest. But this is an epic win for the community. Game Cat Chicago says, I did it. No, but for real, people on Twitter that got my attention on this game, like PSVR Fanatic and Ian, and then, I made noise about it. And then Impact Reality, we couldn't have done it without their help. Wes and his crew over there, and Miles and Jasmine and the team over there. Just all the things kind of lined up for this to happen. And guys, this is huge. Like, this is a really, really big deal to me. This means a lot to me personally. Why? Because we're getting Wipeout and on hoverbikes, or Wipeout and Jet Moto mixed. Mainly, I think this game is mostly relatable to Wipeout. It feels and looks like Wipeout, basically. But me being a big Jet Moto fan, for the 5 of you that know who that is, actually, I see people mentioning Jet Moto on Twitter and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I am not the only one. This is wonderful. I'm a huge fan of, like hoverbike, sci-fi stuff, and this is, oh, hold on. Oh, thank you, Nick. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, sorry about that, and thank you for letting me know. But anyways, like I was saying, this game is very much Wipeout plus Jet Moto, which is really, really cool. I've played this game pretty extensively, but I'm still trying to save the most of what I've played for. I'm still trying to save the most of what I've played for PSVR2. So I'm waiting for that, but it's not going to stop me from kind of enjoying the game a little bit in the meantime. And there are tons and tons of features in this game. So the core gameplay is really, really awesome. It's really fast. The gameplay feels really good. It's smooth and everything. But there's a boatload of content here. I mean, what's happened is they started on this game. I want to say it was either like 2016 or 2018, something like that. And they've been working on this game and just adding to it year after year after year. And what it's turned into is basically a fully fleshed out. I mean, this has like almost the content of like a AAA game. I'm not going to go that far. Maybe a AA game. It's like basically a AA game. But for a tiny little studio, that's really, really impressive. And they use time to their advantage. This game is incredibly polished and fully featured. There are so many features that I'm not even going to be able to cover them all today. Maybe you'll see a couple here. But who was it asked that? GameCat Chicago asks, are there power-ups, vehicle combat? I thought you were responsible for making this game happen, GameCat Chicago. You should know that. No, so there's different modes here. What you'll see me playing here at first is the time trials mode, or ghost races, where you race against kind of like just ghosts of other racers. There's leaderboards and everything, and there's no collision in this mode here because you're just racing against people's times. I got my butt kicked on the times, by the way. Actually, so it's weird. It is very dynamic in the way that the progression is and everything, and the scoring, the leaderboard, stuff like that. Even though I got my butt kicked by some of the ghosts in these races, those were, I think, like the top racers, like on the billboards, on the leaderboards. And so I still ended up getting a gold medal because I passed or whatever. But you can see here, oh my gosh, guys, look at this gameplay though. Like, can we just sit here and just watch this gameplay? I mean, I cannot tell you how excited I am that we're going to get to play this game. And I do have some info that's PSVR2 specific that I will share in a moment. But my gosh, you guys, I'm just so happy about this. I can't tell you how happy I am about this. Even though I just did. I'm tired. Give me a break. I'm almost to the end here. Almost. And then I am gonna take tomorrow off, you guys. Actually, I do have a Patreon post coming, but then I'm taking time off because this weekend I've got more redacteds to play. But the gameplay is so good. And All right. So what I was going to say was, yes, there's different modes. There's the ghost, the time trials here, where you race against just time and ghosts of things. There is a combat mode, to answer your question 10 minutes later, GameCat Chicago. There is a combat mode where it's just like the races, except there's like Mario Kart style power-ups. There's things from missiles to EMPs to shields to boosters. There's a decent variety of weapons here to choose from. And it's really, really fun if you're more into like the Mario Kart style. And then there's also another mode where you've seen some people kind of mention is kind of like Tron. I wouldn't call it Tron. I'd probably mention it being more like zone mode in Wipeout, where you have to go through these gates and you have to keep you recharge your timer by going through these gates, and then you also have to be shooting stuff. So it's kind of like a mix between zone and bomb mode in Wipeout. But it's very, very similar to those, but it's slightly different. So a lot of this footage you're about to see here is me actually just trying to capture footage and screenshots. So it's going to become a little bit of a photo shoot in some of this footage. But the replay system is another wonderful feature that this game has. There's not many games I can literally only name one other game off the top of my head anyways, where the replay feature was actually something that was really, really cool. There's that Barbaria that had like the greatest replay system ever. And then there's this that I've played that also has just a really, really polished gameplay system. And you can do so many different things with it. There's great camera angles. I mean, look, this is just my race that I just did. And this is just watching the replay system. This wasn't where you're watching here. That wasn't in VR. It's like actually like just at the menu screen. This is in VR where you can kind of watch like this. But yeah, fantastic replay system here. That's really, really cool. And they actually might give you, there's some tools that they just implemented on the Quest version that's coming to the PC version that might be likely coming to the PSVR2 version as well, where it lets you get in there and like capture footage, take screenshots, get creative and make videos and stuff with your races, with just the different contents of the game. That's really, really cool. So this is actually going to be a cool replay system versus a lot of other ones. There's also just a spectator mode, I believe, where you can just watch people race, which is interesting as well. But yeah, there's a lot of different tracks here. There's a total of 30 between the tracks and the leagues. There's a total of 30, where I watched Beardo Benjo's video earlier and Gamertag's review. I watched through those earlier because they just dropped on Quest and wanted to see what they had to say, because I'm just so excited about the news and wanted to see how the Quest version turned out. They gave it like really, really raving reviews. Beardo Benjo said it's the best racing game on the Quest, that it's the best racing game he's played in VR since Wipeout. So it's pretty high praise from somebody who I like, but I don't always agree with opinions on some things. Really, really high praise. I was really happy to see that they, really enjoyed it. Had lots of praise for the multiplayer, the audio quality sounding really, really nice as well in the multiplayer. But yeah, 30 tracks, and it's like there's 15 and then there's 15 of the same in reverse. And that makes a bigger difference than you would think. But these levels, guys, these stages, I hope I should get to a point where you get to see it. Hopefully. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of footage capturing here, trying to make some stuff happen. But some of these stages, like each league you choose, each cup or whatever championship that you choose, it's got boatloads of stages within it, and each like major league, I think it is, or each map is like a different planet. It's got this like hologram of a planet for each different one, and there's a nice variety of levels here, from canyons to just futuristic streets to snowy levels. Nice visual variety, and like the futuristic city there, you can see like the planet that's above it or whatever. And then I think I'm checking out some different stuff here. I might go. I go to the loop-de-loop level here. But there's a nice visual variety, and dude, like the sci-fi level is awesome, where this is the thing. So this game, when I played this on Quest, I thought this game actually looked really, really good, like really good on Quest. And I was like, man, it is like what the Quest can do, like handle the most though. Aside from some frame rate issues, it was looking really good overall. Little frame rate stutters on the Quest here and there. But it looked stunning. I mean, it was super sharp and crisp, really, really nice looking overall. And I thought that looked great. And then I played the PC version and I was like, holy shit, there is so much more graphically that I was not aware of. So if you're on Quest, just buy the Quest version, play it, have fun. Don't ever let anyone tell you it doesn't look great, because it does. But holy crap, when I played this on PC, I was like, whoa, there is way more stuff in the environment that I was missing out on here that I was not aware of. Like stuff like in the sci-fi city, which is kind of similar to like the cities you've seen in Wipeout, with like all the stuff, the floats and everything. There's like these, there's like these ships, these like spaceships flying around and stuff. The environmental detail is like way more dense and filled out. There's just a lot more going on in the environments and everything. And with such really good looking environments, it really pops on PC. So I hope for the PSVR2 version, I hope we get something closer to the PC version. If they got to do it 90 native with the eye track foveated rendering, that would be ideal. But I hope they don't sacrifice too much, bringing it, like making it 90 native, or do like what Undead Citadel did and give us a 90 native, or Arcanage, even better example, give us a 90 native mode, give us a 120 reprojected, let us choose, and have like a fidelity mode and a performance mode. That would be the most ideal thing here. But it's so beautiful. I really, really want us to get the PC version. Like I said, the Quest 3 version looks great. It really does. But the PC version looks like stunning. And you can see, this is crazy footage, by the way. I'm looking at this footage myself and I'm like, this is wild looking. It actually looks kind of cool, getting all these different angles, the slow motion. You can slow it down. Like I said, I love the replay system. Let's see here. Want to see, go play more GT7. Yes, we do. We definitely need to. Want to make sure I'm checking all of for any things. I saw somebody ask a question. Oh, Salvador, my dude. Okay, let's do this. Let's jump forward a little bit and let's go ahead and I will confirm to you the information that I can. Wes, I won't get you in any trouble. Don't worry. Also, please don't send your hitman. Wes is gonna kill my feed if I say too much, guys. I'm kind of nervous now. He's gonna, like, as the stream ends, it was nice knowing you, and Wes did it. No, but okay, these are the features I can confirm here, guys. The game is coming to PSVR 2. Oh, no, there's more. Hold on. Don't leave. I'm sorry. There's more. I swear. Listen, there were some rumors about the game coming to PSVR 2. None of that was official. None of that. All that was just rumors, speculation. The guys at Impact, or the crew, the team at Impact, were incredibly nice in letting me make the official announcement, and I was super excited to do it because this was like a community effort, so I wanted to make, when I made the announcement today that it is officially coming to PSVR2, I wanted to make sure that there was a heavy emphasis on like, look what we did together. And now we are going to have an amazing game because of it. I can confirm there are no chainsaws in this game. I don't think. Maybe. You could technically have a chainsaw in the game if you put one, because there's custom liveries that you can do. So you can technically, there could be one. But the other stuff I can confirm, the game is set to be released this year. Now it's early in development. The game is set to be released this year. I hope it comes this year, but it wouldn't like be the end of the world if it gets delayed into 2026 to bring like the most polished, best version it can be, especially with this having multiplayer and Sony's certification process. Y'all got 6 months. I mean, the thing is that Impact Reality, Flat to VR Studios, they got connections. They've got amazing developers over there. So if like anybody could get this port done in 6 months and it'd be good, I'd have a lot of faith in them. But, the game is set to be this year, could get pushed into 2026. That's nothing they told me. That's just my own speculation. It will also have official bHaptics support. They're planning on having native bHaptics support. It's already on the Quest and PC version, which is super cool. Dude, racing games with haptics vest is awesome, or are awesome. I love even using the audio to haptics for Gran Turismo is amazing. I like the audio to haptics for Galaxy Kart, which now has native. Listen, the truth is, if bHaptics vest was a lot cheaper, every single one of you would go out and buy one. I would have had one if it wasn't so expensive. It is so expensive, but it is like one of the coolest, nicest, most premium accessories that you could possibly have. By the way, I was capturing some really good footage here. I just want to point that out again. There's some nice looking footage here. Like I saw it. I saw the trailer or the game trailer I wanted to make in my head for the announcement, but I just ran out of time and couldn't make the video. But it's all right. I almost got there. That's all right. Well, when there's official PSVR2 footage, then I'll have that. But yeah, the bHaptics vest is super freaking dope, you guys, and I highly recommend it if you got the money for it. If you don't, then yeah, understandable. It's very, very expensive. It costs more than a PSVR2 now, which is a problem. But they are amazing. They're super premium quality, and I would 2 thumbs up if you got the funds for it. So bHaptics vest support. Now, let me also be very, very careful. Oh, so in terms of enhancements, all I can say at this time is that there will be PSVR2 enhancements. That's it. Listen, they don't want to confirm anything. It's early, and they don't want to, promise anything they can't deliver on. So speculating here. This is purely speculation. I'd imagine it's going to have haptics, adaptive triggers if there's a place where that fits, and headset rumble. It being Impact Reality, I'm pretty confident that there will end up being eye track foveated rendering or something. Wes says it will be done right. Okay, so I trust Wes at his word, as I'm now sweating profusely with him watching this. No, but I get it though. Yeah, I don't want to promise anything too soon. He says Vertex Breakers is awesome and they have legit support. Yeah, I mean, going by the quality of the game, I definitely knew that for sure, because the game is so incredibly polished and well-rounded and just fully featured and everything. I saw Salvador, my dude, asking about cross-platform. Again, nothing they can confirm at this time, but the developer was on Twitter tweeting to people, and I saw that they said that they have cross-platform for Quest and PC. And of course, the goal is going to be to get that for PSVR2 as well. I don't think cross-platform will be. I think if they encounter any issues with that, it's going to be issues with the Sony side of things, because we know how Sony is. We know how hard it can be to get cross-platform stuff on their console. It has been done, so it is very, very doable. But we've definitely seen issues getting through certification with cross-platform and with multiplayer. So that's going to be, that's going to be a challenge for the team to do. But like I said, that's something that they said they wanted to implement. So obviously that would be a really smart thing to do, because the VR player base is small. So the cross-platform is always a good idea. Breachers would be completely dead on PSVR2 if not for cross-platform support. Because it's just, you find your audiences, but there's people still playing this game for years. So I'm pretty confident in the player base for this. I know I'm going to be playing the shit out of it. I know there's boatloads of content to play through. And this would be a good Sunday multiplayer game as well. But the big things I can confirm at this time is that it's officially announced for PSVR2, which is amazing. It is going to be enhanced for PSVR2 with, quote, "it will be done right" at this time. And it will have haptic support. One more thing. It's coming this year. That's when it's planned. So it is planned for this year as well. That's obviously for anybody that's subject to change, but the goal is to have it this year, which I think is good timing. By fall, the sales really start picking up again for PSVR and gaming in general. I think around fall, they start picking up again. Holiday season, they really start ramping up. And it would be really, really nice to get this. It would be really, really nice to get this, before the end of the year, because you've got that hot spot of sales. There's lots of people that have more time because they're on holidays. They get more time to play VR, and because it's cold, they're not burning alive like they are right now. So that would be really, really cool if they can get everything done before the end of the year, which is when they're expecting to. As far as the Quest, some of the information we can take from the Quest version, the multiplayer is 6-player cross-platform online multiplayer. There's weekly challenges similar to like Gran Turismo 7, so that's pretty cool. Actually, the Gran Turismo 7 weekly challenges did get me coming back each week to play them until I just completely ran out of time to be able to play it. But Nick Mulo says, would you say the bHaptics vest is so choice? And if you have the means, you highly recommend picking one up? Is so choice? Yes, I think so. If I understood your question correctly. Yeah, no, I would highly recommend one. But the truth is, I wouldn't have a vest if they didn't send me one to review. Now that I've tried one, I would go buy one. Like if they took it back, I would buy one. But because of that steep price, I wouldn't take the risk myself. Wes, Virtual Strangers, giving out some keys in the chat. Thank you, man. I don't know how many PC players I have here. There's some for sure. But thank you, man. Appreciate you doing the giveaway. Like I said all the time, all VR is awesome. We got to stick together and fight through the haters, man. And that goes for all platforms. LSB has been preaching some awesome stuff, man. I couldn't agree with you more. Like VR is too small. We need to realize where we are right now. And that is like, it is too small and to be doing this console war garbage. And it gets tough, LSB, sometimes because we get a lot of flack from other platforms. Especially like you said, PlayStation VR is the only console VR. So, it's got it's basically an uphill battle eternally. But I believe in us. I believe in our community, and I believe in our player base to keep growing and getting better. And and I believe in developers supporting the platform enough to keep it going. But anyways, guys, anything else I can add on VRacer Hoverbike? I don't know, man. I am so incredibly excited that we get a Wipeout plus Jet Moto game. I do think that this is the best racing game since like Wipeout and Gran Turismo 7 that I've played. I'm trying to think of anything else. It'll be interesting to play that. I'm actually really excited about V-Rider SBK as well. After playing VRacer Hoverbike, there's so many features in this game. Like I said, I can't even list them all. Like there's too many to count. I saw people playing with like little statues of stuff they created their livery, their outfits, and then they had like little statues and toys that they could play with in the lobby, putting them on their bikes and stuff. There's so many features that I'm sure Impact and the team over there and Vertex Breakers will be able to tell you more as we lead up to this game coming out. But thank you, Wes, and thank you, Impact, once again for letting me make the announcement as a way to really include the community and just spotlight the community here, because that's what it's really about, man. We will not stop fighting for games to come to us. And as we can see here, we can change things. We can alter the course of gaming history with this work that we're putting in and doing. So I'm exhausted. I have not slept at all this week. I've got, I think, 2 more games I got to get to reviewing soon. I've got Patreon posts to do. But let me just tell you, man, all this fighting and support that we're doing, this is all worth it. It is worth what we're doing to have a more awesome gaming future, man, especially for in the VR world. Nick Mulo says this does look pretty sweet. Nice. Nick Mulo impressed from, I'm actually really, even though this footage is kind of janky, I'm digging this footage. And I love that there's loop-to-loops. I hope that there's a lot more loops in this game too. I want, if I know they've got a lot of work ahead of them, but I expect this game to do really well on PSVR2, to be honest with you. I do expect this game to do really well. And I do think we'll back them up and support them here, because people are starved for a Wipeout game. And then the rest of us are like, it's Jet Moto. But no, it really is like Wipeout mostly, which is awesome. Wipeout on hoverbikes. So amazing though. More features and stuff to talk about in the future. But super excited, man. And again, thank you, all of you guys, for your support as always. I appreciate you so much. And today was a really, really special day for me. This is one of my highlights of my my YouTube kababi career hobby. Kababi. I'll call it my YouTube career. This was a very special day. It really, really meant a lot to me. You have no idea and how much this meant to me today to get to do this and make the announcement. Spread the good news, and I'm just excited for this team, man. I think this team will be very successful. So that is it for now, guys. Thank you so much again for your support. Go check out Undead Citadel. If you have a Quest, go check out VRacer Hoverbike or Steam. Go check it out on there as well. If you're one of the Patreon members, do stay tuned. There's some some giveaways and stuff that are going to be dropping very, very soon on there. I've got a lot of extra keys, including some for Undead Citadel, Escaping Wonderland EU, and I got a Kayak VR Complete Edition. And I think that there's some other stuff. So I'm going to I might schedule that or do that tomorrow. So be on the lookout tomorrow for that. For some giveaways there. And there is so much more I wanted to say about VRacer Hoverbike, but it's okay for now. There'll be plenty of time to talk about it more soon. But congrats on the launch, guys. Cheers. And And Virtual Stranger says, go make some noise for Sleep Awake. I'll have to go check that out. I assume that's a horror game. But yeah, man, you guys are awesome. You're the best. Let's get out of here with some metal and everything. More coming at you soon. You guys stay tuned. This train's not slowing down. Ain't no stopping this PSVR2 train, baby. Choo choo. Let's get out of here with some metal as always. And, oh, wait, I got to cue the metal first. Thank you, Charger Mike, cueing the metal. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life, thank you so much, man. Great chatting with you guys. Virtual Stranger says, from here they lie, team. Ah, I see. Chrome to the Dome Colossus is headed to Albo now. Headed to V-Rider tomorrow. Hell yeah. Headed to VRacer in the autumn. Up and autumn. Up and autumn. DJ Dirty Yellow. Thanks so much, man. He says, if they need DLC, tell... that's a great idea, DJ. And I was thinking the same thing. Combat arenas would be super sweet. The sky's the limit for this game, right? The sky is the limit for VRacer Hoverbike. The possibilities are endless. Combat arenas, more loops. I want more loops and spirals and twisty things and ramps and explosions. Things that go boom. Yeah, man, all that stuff. Guyson, fist bump to you. Thanks so much, man. Salvador, my dude, thank you. Awesome Tatum. Get back to your truck driving. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the night. I'll see you again very soon.